Good morning, everyone. I love that song. I ran across it last week and I was like, this is perfect for a Monday morning social because it is a very good day to have a good day, even when things aren't necessarily going our way. And I feel that. I feel that right now in my bones. So if you're feeling the same way, just know that we have the ability to make it a good day. We control our thoughts. We can't control other people or the situations around us. So we're in charge and we're here to set up our day just perfectly. My name is Karen. I am very early, just kind of like Reverend. We are both in the Bay Area. I'm right outside San Francisco. It is freezing for us. It's like 40 degrees. I know for those of you in Montana with the snow, not so much, but for us, that is cold in the morning. And in my stage manager is our wonderful Jen Kay. She'll pop on camera, give you a little wave and say hello. And she's got her coffee with her because, that's important first thing in the morning. So if you were with us last week, she was presenting and I was in the chat. So it's kind of a Freaky Friday flip, but it's on a Monday. I saw that we have at least one brand new people. Leslie, I think it was. Welcome to Sonder fam. It's awesome to come and take notes. If this is your first time, please don't get overwhelmed. Please know that I've done this over 2 years and I've never filled out every page in my journal, and that's okay. It's still a useful tool for me. And sometimes I do better than others, and some weeks are awesome, and some months my habit trackers look great, and other months they don't. And all of that is absolutely okay. Couple of housekeeping, make sure that you have your chat set to everyone so that we can see. That's where we get to really hear from you guys of how you're using this journal and making it work for you. And know that you are, by just being here, entered into that self-care raffle. Tanya, I'm looking forward to that Soci trip too. We are both members of a life coaching group, and we're going to be going to Scottsdale, Arizona in a couple of weeks to see that wonderful master life coach, Tanya Lee. If you are looking for a fun podcast, it is called School of Self-Image. She gives some good stuff. Love this quote over here in the corner. You may not be able to change yesterday, but what you do today could change tomorrow. And I think for sure, that was me yesterday. I had 15 minutes before I needed to be somewhere, and I was like, can I get some meal prep done? So I did. I made a couple of chia puddings. They were very simple. Hopefully they turned out good. They have this oat milk pumpkin spice latte creamer that doesn't have a lot of calories or sugar and stuff in it. So I added that with some pistachio milk and walnuts. So we'll see how those turned out. But I knew that if I did that, that today would be a little bit easier. And so that's what we're doing today. We're trying to make the week just a little bit easier. I hit mute instead of the slide changing button. Leslie's a Soci member too. Oh, we got a lot of Soci members in here today. This month's theme, if you are not aware, is surrender. Every month we have a new theme. I'm going to say this one's been very beneficial to me. It didn't resonate at first, and that usually means I really need to lean into the theme, and it's working pretty well for me. And then because it is fall, I like this one too. And maybe this is the season for you to let go of how you thought it would be and just let things fall into place on their own. And I thought that's wonderful to go with surrender. So if you find that you like any of these, I encourage you, like the quotes and such, or any of the repurposing ideas. If you're new, I like to use my cell phone when I'm attending as a participant, and I take a little screenshot so I can refer back to it, because with so many of us, it's hard to go back and forth between the slides, unless it's like that section that we're in. Our agenda today is our surrender activity. I'm going to reveal what week 4 is that we're diving into for surrender. We're going to do our weekly setup, and then we're going to close. And then because it's Halloween and that is a gorgeous raven, I like, it's okay to muddle through right now. Good enough is in fact good enough. And I just wanted that to be our our grounding for today, is that, if this is a week for you that's really busy and you're just grabbing one colored pen and you're just writing down your grocery list, that is perfectly okay. So our week theme is control. And I don't know about you, but I am a little bit of a control freak. I'm not a type A personality, but I do like to control things. So this week we're going to dive into that. Our first week was our mental state and our feelings. Week 2 was about vulnerability. Week 3 was mindfulness, and week 4 is control. So here's my example. So week 1 was my feelings. I can surrender to my feelings instead of trying to control them. And I think I'm really going to lean into that this week too. It's been kind of an odd work week, and I think we all have those sometimes. Vulnerability, trying something new that I might not be amazing at and taking a chance. And I did. And that's what it was. It worked out pretty well for me. Last week was mindfulness, and I with Sophie did the Worthy Woman workshop, and I tried to be mindful and present within it and focus on the work that I was doing. So control. For me, it's allowing things to evolve this weekend. I have company coming from Rhode Island, and normally I would try to control every moment and make all the reservations and like map out the day. And this time I'm going to take a step back, have a kind of a gist of what it is that we're doing. So I'm going to turn some music on, turn myself off, and I'm going to allow you guys to explore how it is you may surrender into control this week. And I'd love to see what your interpretation is in the chat. Wow, it sounds like control in this weekend with Halloween really resonates with a lot of you, trying to control the festivities for maybe your kids, your family, the neighborhood, all of those things. I saw some other people talking about doing control that other areas of their life as well. I'm looking, writing books. Lauren was talking about. I can surrender to the words that come through without immediately editing or judging them. And that is hard, hard, hard to do. Nona's talking about her friend's situation. She's listening to her rant and discussing her problems to find her own solutions, not taking it on herself. Um, Pamela, I love this. I see empty places in my calendar as a challenge. I'm going to try to surrender the need to fill every blank and allow some time for serendipity this month. I don't know, those of you who've been with us since the summer, spontaneity was definitely one that I loved. Oh, Dana, the blueberry lavender almond milk at Trader Joe's is absolutely amazing, and I love it in our Earl Grey tea, just FYI. Apparently, I love food and I love flavored plant-based milks, if you could not tell. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now, if you are someone who likes to celebrate things, you may want to take a little screenshot of the next page. I'm going to say this isn't my favorite week of celebrations. There's some weird ones in here, but there's some that if you know someone who's maybe a first responder, you might want to write out a card and send it in the mail or send them a text. Today is National Food Day, National Bologna Day. So I don't eat bologna, but maybe your kids do. United Nations Day, World Tripe Day. That one really, I know. But maybe you like menudo. You know, I'm from Texas and I ate that growing up and it's delicious. I love October 25th, crisp sandwich day. That's where you put your potato chips into your sandwich, which I know in the lunchroom when I was a school teacher, there was a lot of that, but I can definitely get behind World Pasta Day, greasy food, and sour day. Mine may not be a sour power candy. Maybe I'll find me a sour beer or something. So yeah, there's a lot of different things. October 27th has Navy Day. So if you have someone in the Navy, you might want to reach out to them. The 28th, First Responders Day. Also Frankenstein, if you love reading classics, maybe that's a time to revisit, or maybe you find a fun cartoon or movie to share with your kids for the Halloween spirit. Candy corn day is Sunday. Maybe you love or hate it. I don't love candy corn, but I do love those little pumpkins. And then I think the one besides the 29th, National Hermit Day, which really resonates with me right now, is Haunted Refrigerator Night. I'm just going to say, if I was still teaching fifth grade and I had a little bunch of little boys, I think I would find something to get them going about a haunted refrigerator night, or maybe it would be a writing prompt or something. I just love that idea. So the next screen I'm going to share are some different repurposing ideas. So this goes for any of the sections. Maybe you want to move something else is food meal planner. Some people will use the bigger section for affirmations or something, and then use a smaller section for mood planning. Like I said, affirmation scriptures, work or study tracker, exercise tracker, cleaning plan, mindfulness activity planner, end of day reflections like maybe rose, bud, thorn, weekly appointments, gardening things. One that's also very popular for those of us with chronic issues, food or tracker symptoms, dream tracker, listing out things that went well for the day, an outfit tracker, a national day of lists like I just shared, or maybe it's a TV, movie, or podcast plan, especially with the holidays coming out. Maybe you have traditions of like watching Charlie Brown or something with the kids, or maybe a gratitude log. So we're going to dive in now to the weekly planner. And I love this. Show yourself the same kindness, compassion, and patience that you give to others. So I want you to keep that in mind. Maybe last week didn't go exactly the way you planned. Give yourself grace. Today is a new start, and let's dig in. As usual, I try to show you the alignment of my intentions and my habit trackers and what mine look like this week. You can see mine is very simple. Some of my intentions were meditation, art journal, doing walks and meal prep with my little Snickers. Less Amazon, trying to test out a Pilates. I don't think that's going to happen because my back's still not better. No complaint zone, really struggling with that one, but good. And making sure that I book that time for leisure, leaving those spaces in the calendar for things that I want to do. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's an extra long walk listening to a podcast. You can see the daily ritual is in my habit tracker. My morning ritual of things that I like to do. I like to listen to my Shine app. There's certain things that I tried to do, like put my sunscreen on in the morning and such, that are a part of my morning ritual. And then I went ahead and listed my art book that is like a 5-minute activity. I want to feel spooky because it is the holidays and I love it. I want to make some flashcards for my test. I want to create a spooky kind of dinner this weekend for my husband and myself. Self-care, making sure to take a few deep breaths now and then. I need to get the guest room ready. I need to make some reservations for dinner, even if I don't control every moment. I might scratch someone off, trying to surrender, and some food prep. Art book, once again, is there as that reminder. Weekly and daily, it helps me refer back. So I do both habit trackers. Morning ritual is there as well. Pilates, Snickers walks, which goes back to my intentions, and that night meditation, which also goes back to my night meditations. So at the beginning of the month, I really try to take my intentions into my habit tracker as well as my weekly. And so, like I said, sometimes I double up just to try to get myself to fill it out in both places, because a lot of times I'll find I'll do the weekly and forget about the monthly. We're not perfect, right? So this week, I want to feel, we need to set that intention. I want to feel spooky. Here's some examples of ways people have done this, that people have used an acrostic. Some people have made this beautiful artwork because they find it relaxing. That to me is stressful, but for you, you do you, boo. Some people use a phrase or multiple words. Some people will throw some stickers that really resonate with them for that week. There's no right or wrong way to do that. And here is that feelings wheel. If you're struggling to come up with an emotion, remember we work from the inside out, and hopefully you are picking something that is a positive emotion, because let's set that intention where it is something that's going to be awesome and fun. And I'm going to put a quick song on, go off camera, and give you just about a minute. Love to know how you are feeling, how you're filling out this section this month or this week. All right. Sounds like we have a lot of Harry Potter fans in there. It's such a fun mix, so different than the normal. Some people want to feel inspired, grounded, cared for, organized, prepared, all of these things. And Deborah, big hugs to you. It is hard to process the loss of a parent. I lost both of mine in my very early 20s, and it definitely is something. And yeah, Morgan, I want to feel ready for fall too. I think I may even throw on some water and some cinnamon sticks and vanilla and such on the stovetop today and get the house smelling good. So let's dig into our next section. Love this over here. Sometimes our weekly to-dos look a little different. Sometimes we might say things that we don't want to do. Letting others drain my energy, forgetting my power, poisoning my thoughts, feigning a smile, fearing the unknown, killing my own vibe. That one I'm guilty of this morning. myself, fretting about the future, getting tangled up with worry, forgetting my own power. So I really like those. I'm going to show you a couple of other really fun ideas for repurposing too, if it works for you. Um, I really like the do, decide, delegate, and delete, listing out the things that you do have to do, things that you decide to do, things that you can pass on to someone else. And maybe that is DoorDash this week one night, or ordering that pizza, or maybe it's the kids, getting the table set, whatever it is, or the husband getting the oil change. And then things that you can't go through, things that you can delete off the list. I really like this one. Those of you who are in school self-image, this is one Tanya talks a lot about as well. Another way to look at that is the need, want, hope, do. And here's another, like you could do need, want, wish. And that's another way to be able to dig into this. Now, if these don't resonate with you, the bingo board is very popular. Something psychologically about putting a sticker on it when you are crossing it off feels really good. Here's another version, need, hope, want. Some people are repurposing this section for their appointments, breaking into quadrants of things that they want to be able to do, like work, play, clean, and let go of. Another variation, must, need, want. So those are some different ways that you're able to do it. For me, I literally use mine as is, and I add to it as things come up during the week. So if my list looks short right now, that's not what it's going to look like in the week. My journal is a working document. That's just the way it works for me. Maybe you're more organized and your life flows a little bit differently. So I'm going to give you a song and let you guys fill out your weekly to-dos. Oh, one other that people really like to do is to do a to-do list. And that one is just leaving it blank and listing your accomplishments for the week. All right, we're heading to our next section. We're going to be digging into those goals. Like this quote as well, a satisfied life is better than a successful life because our success is measured by others, but our satisfaction is measured by our own soul, mind, and heart. And so I put this in here because a lot of times, and I'm very guilty of this, is I'll write down goals of things I think I should be doing versus what actually resonates and feels right in my body. And so just kind of keep that in mind as we move forward. Definitely refer back to your habit trackers. You could look at previous journals. You could do this around something specific, like a fitness challenge for the week or a food challenge, like smoothie challenges and things like that. Or you could create things that you don't want to do, kind of like that slide with all the little witches and ghosts. And then you can also repurpose this for things you like about fall, bingos, recipes you want to try, etc. The world is your oyster. Use this how it is that is going to work for you. A couple examples here, someone leaned into unplug and then they made their bingo board around unplugging. I thought that was so smart. Um, Looking at goals under work, body, and mind that can keep you really balanced. And then once again, here is that habit tracker, I'm sorry, bingo board. But I got something a little different for you today that might be just what you're looking for. In the daily ritual Thursday last week, it was called No Fear of Time. Nehar, founder, talked a lot about core values and use those core values to create her goals for the week. Now, I knew I was having a busy week and I started my weekly setup on Wednesday. So my goals don't reflect it. So in the corner, I wrote mine out. Now, I went through Neha's course about core values and I found my core values. There's little strips of paper and you go through and you figure them all out. And it's a really amazing experience. If that's something you're interested in, Jen threw the link in with a blog post a little more about it. And if you're interested in that course is linked there. So for me, adventure, physical health, and helping are some of my absolute best core values. So for adventure, explore a new park that's close by in town. Yeah, you can tell I typed that fast, sorry. Physical health, trying to get that meal prep done, making those salads in the jar, making the chia puddings, and then helping. I'm working on social media at my Pilates studio. So you could take this from the view of your core values, setting your goals as well. There's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just a different lens to look through to make sure you're leading the life that you want. So I'm going to put some music on. I'll go back through some of those slides while the music is playing. And if you feel comfortable, let us know about your goals in the chat. Hopefully you enjoyed that interesting instrumental of Wonderwall. So let's dig into the habit and activity. One other little grounding as we're going into it. I believe in road trips. I believe there's magic in the water, in the mountains, in the sky, in the fields. I believe there's healing power in the road. I love waking up early to watch the sun peek out and kiss in the morning. And I love walking barefoot in the grass. I believe in listening to music that takes me back to times forgotten, kind of like Wonderwall, right? And I believe most in having friends who are more like soulmates, people to share all of this beautiful, ordinary magic with me. And sometimes it is the ordinary that is what makes life happen. So just kind of keeping that in mind when you're doing your habits and activities. Maybe one of your habits is playing some, if you're like me, you grew up as a teenager in the 90s, some grunge music while you're cooking dinner, or maybe it's just having your tea outside under the stars when you're getting ready for bed in a night meditation. So just put that in your mind of the ordinary can be magical sometimes. Some different examples here. Once again, using like the daily rituals, reading. You can get outside. I like the one where I've used this one before. She's monitoring two different things here. So things that she's actually marking off and then kind of like leveling what her pain is. And then sometimes people will use it for exercise, or maybe they're learning a language or calligraphy, or maybe it's something they don't want to do, like no DoorDash, or take your medicines, alone time with coffee in the morning. That's so important to me too. Posting to social media, all of these things are awesome habits. One thing for sure is to know that these are things you want to do weekly. So maybe it's something you don't necessarily want to do every time. I know some people like to do, I want to do this 5 times, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's not the way I like to do that. But if that's fun for you and you want to try it out, absolutely. And the ones in our habits, they can overlap, but those are things you want to do every day. So for me, maybe I want to do Pilates 5 times a week. And so I put it here so I can do it 5 times, where maybe I'm not going to do it every day, and where I would put it in my habit tracker. Okie dokie. So I'm going to put on a little music and let you write down some of your habits. One other thing I do want to point out is you do not need to fill up every space. If you had a hard week last week or you are new, list 1, 2, 3 things that you're working on. Set yourself up for success. All right, that song sounded familiar to you. It was Moon River from Breakfast at Tiffany's. We're going to dig into the next section of our journal. So looking at page 53, this is my example. I am using I use my journal. I've tried repurposing things and it's been fun to repurpose, but it doesn't like this. I'm a productivity user. I'm not a creative user. And so mine is really kind of planning out. I'm going to be making different kinds of renditions of ricotta toast. I went to a cheese fest and found this ricotta that they hand dip and it's not grainy and it's delicious. So I'm going to put it on. I got some like radishes and cucumbers, but I got some gooseberries and honey. So I'm going to be making little variations for that. So you're seeing ricotta toast. PC stands for purple carrot, my meal kit that I'm going through. I know that I'm having dinner out with someone on Wednesday, so I marked that out. I also know that I'm going to make a lovely risotto. I bought 3 different gorgeous types of mushrooms. And then I also know that on Friday, I have a very long day. I'm going to be realistic and I'm going to be picking up a poke bowl from the grocery store near one of the health clubs I work at. And then you can see I literally marked out the meal plan for company, knowing that I am going to let it go with company and we'll eat and it'll be okay. I don't need to plan it, right? I'm surrendering. My mind body health plan, once again, I'm leaving Saturday and Sunday blank because we have company and I know I'm not going to have a lot of me time. I have walk, Pilates, and meal prep, and those are listed and I check them off as it goes. My shopping list right now, I don't have anything on it, but remember, I use mine as a working document. So as things come up, I run out of groceries or I need dish soap or whatever comes up, I jot it down then. And with that shopping list, I don't take my journal with me to the grocery store, but I do use my phone and I'll take a picture of my shopping list and take that with me. And Reverend, I noticed you are using your meal service, and she attended on Friday night, and that was one of the goals of something that she was going to surrender. So I'm proud of you for taking that step from our social on Friday and applying it here. Good job. And I'm loving my throw pillows. If you were at the cooking social, you know I have horror themed pillowcases for Halloween because I am that weird person. Meal plan. This is probably the one that gets repurposed the most. So I have quite a few examples of the ways people have used this. You can see someone is using it for affirmations. I like this one in the second one over. Instead of like, I'm going to eat this or that, they left it open for whatever cravings they had, but they're trying to make sure they got their roots and vegetables and grains and such for a balanced diet. I thought that was really smart. Self-esteem journal, writing the things that they did, or also appointments. I love the one on the right. It's so beautiful. And I love those Pip Sticks avocado stickers. I have those too. I think I've used them all up. They're so fun. Um, Little journaling. So because it is a bigger space, some people like to use it. Like today, I pushed myself to. Some people will use the things that they need to get done daily. And you can tell this one is something that's going on for a celebration of life. So this will change the following week, but it's how they're using it this week. And I like the fact that they're using the journal flexibly. Once again, an appointment or listing out their steps and where it was that they went, which I thought was just like a fun little twist of kind of a journaling and accountability. And also like they can refer back to like, oh, I need like 1,000 steps left or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, I could go walk over to that park and that will hit my goal. So I kind of like that. So I'm going to give you some time and we're going to play a little saxophone version of Girl on Fire. All right. Going into one of my other favorite sections. This one I actually do change pretty often. The mind body health plan. Now, if you love the types of rest, this is the 7 types of rest, and you can definitely lean into that. But I encourage you to take it one step further if this is something that you want to do. When on break, I'll see if I can find it and I'll Slack it to Jen and she can throw it into the chat. There's actually a quiz that tells you what kind of rest you need. So you could take that quiz and utilize those types of rest to get the most bang for your buck. Does that make sense? Right? So it's like, maybe I need sensory. That's what it is I really need. And I don't really need the social right now. So why put it here? So I'll find that quiz and send it to you. It's fun. You know, I love a good quiz. Who doesn't love a good quiz? It takes me back to magazines back in the day, you know, like Young Miss and such. Or you can totally tell I'm old. Sassy. Does anyone remember Sassy? It was so good. So here's some different examples of the way people have repurposed. You can see people have used it as a cleaning organizer. I know we got a lot of fly ladies in here. That's a cleaning system. Self-care, little journaling. I felt I need to, things that will get you going, like that core values class, or, you know, washing your hair, lunch date, whatever it is. Going as like fasting 13 hours, putting it in as you go. The health plan, something I did well, something that felt good for myself, all of those kinds of things. Or maybe you're setting it up for a workout thing. Leslie, I don't get onto social while I'm on it. It will happen after. I can post that point after the social. You can check in probably around noon and I'll have it there because I got to run and teach a Pilates class right after this. The link for the test rest, I will look that one up as you guys work on your mind body section. And let's go for a little Empire State of Mind. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel pretty energized for the week. So I'm going to combine the next two sections for our very last section. One is that shopping list. You saw that I actually use mine as a shopping list. Mine's blank at the moment, but as things come up, I'll add it to it. But some people, and I love this example on the left, they just use pencil. This journal works if you use washi tape and stickers, but it also works just one pencil. That's all you need. Some people like to list phone calls of people they're checking in with, or changing it to meal planning because they're maybe writing their affirmations in the other section, or maybe inspirational quotes, etc. Here's some other examples, just listing out something that they're referencing, like the types of rest, which that quiz is in the chat if you're looking for it. Once again, some people really like to put their chores there. Sometimes they just have some joyous stickers and they want to throw them in there and it makes them happy to look at, and that is absolutely fine. Dinner ideas, what they're binge watching, something that made me smile, so little journal prompts there. And then our last section that we're going to be digging into, and I'm going to give you time for that, is the things that I am loving. And maybe you need a good affirmation and you could use this off of our Instagram page for that. So I'm going to play a little music and let you guys fill out your shopping and something that you are loving. And maybe it's spooky related. We're going to put on a string quartet of Moves Like Jagger. All right, friends, in an effort to get you out for the end of your day, I just wanted to share this Freddie Mercury quote. Someone will always be prettier, someone will always be smarter, someone will always be younger, but they will never be you. So I wanted to leave that with you. If you feel confident and you are on that Sonder Club, this is where we get the examples from. So please post, especially if it's something different. That's where we get it and we take snapshots of it on our phones and then we add it into our slides. So I absolutely love that. And finally, please take the survey. You'll get it via email as well. We do look at that feedback. If you love Silk and Saunders, you can refer a friend, get $10 for them, $10 for you. We have some nice candles and bath bombs and that annual supplement, which they renamed Self-Discovery, I think is what it's called. If you're not in the Sonder Club, that is there. And then the most important one here, in my opinion, is that YouTube link. You cannot search for Silk and Saunders YouTube and come up with it. It is a private one. You need this link, and that's how you're going to get to it. It doesn't have the chat, doesn't have the music. So I apologize for that. But if you miss the social, it's a way you can catch up. I'm so glad you were here. I hope you feel ready for the day. I'll throw my music into the chat in just a second. And the song we're gonna play is Life is Too Short. Have a fabulous day. I hope you're ready for the week. Feel prepared, and there is no Manic Monday. See you next time.
All we get, then I'ma live with no regret. Life's too short to stress out. Life's too short. I've watched my old man cry. Don't you live your life like mine. Life's too short to stress out. Life's too short. Short to stress out, life's too short. I won't lie, can't believe I made it this far. It's a rough life, everybody got their own scars. Some people get more, some people get less, but we're all blessed. And I know that we ain't got a lot, but I know we're okay if we love what we got. Cause life's too short to stress out, life's too short. All we get, then I'ma live with no regret. Life's too short to stress out. Life's too short. I've watched my old man cry. Don't you live your life like mine. Life's too short to stress out. Life's too short. Short to stress out, life's too short. Time flies, ain't nobody get a free ride. It's alright, you might get it in the next life. Some people get more, some people get less, but we're all blessed. All I know is what I know, I don't know if I'm right. I just rock with my heart, I just ride with the vibe. Cause life's too short to stress out, life's too short. For we are is all we get, then I'ma live with no regret. Cause life's too short to stress out, life's too short. Cause life's too short to stress out, life's too short. Short to stress out, life's too short. Life's too short. Life's too short. Social.